The Meridian colony had been a garden of light in the void, a blue-green jewel orbiting a quiet yellow sun where humans had built a world of peace. Its skies were clear, its oceans unscarred, and its people unarmed. For a century, Meridian had stood as a symbol of humanity's new age, the age without war. That illusion ended at dawn. The Vranai came without warning, sleek ships shaped like razors, emerging from hyperspace in perfect formation. The colony's orbital stations had no defenses, no fleets standing watch. The Vranai tore through them like paper, silencing comms before a single distress beacon could be sent. When the bombardment began, it wasn't strategic. It was spectacle. Columns of plasma fire lanced down from orbit, boiling seas and turning continents to molten glass. Cities vanished in seconds, hundreds of millions of lives erased. The invaders watched through their holoscreens, laughing, recording, streaming their conquest to the wider galactic networks. The Vranai Chancellor, Sarex Kal, gave the order himself. "Let this be a message," he declared to the galaxy, his voice sharp and cruel. "The humans have grown soft. Their age of wrath is over. Their fury is tamed, their claws filed down by peace. We will remind them what it means to kneel." When the last survivor of Meridian, a child, barely 6 years old, was dragged before the Chancellor's dais, she asked one question before they executed her. "Do you think we forgot how to fight?" They laughed, and then they burned her world to dust. The Feast of Arrogance. The Vranai Confederacy celebrated the destruction of Meridian for 7 full cycles. Their fleets paraded across their capital's sky, banners unfurled, while trillions cheered beneath the black and silver sigil of their empire. They broadcast holovids of the bombardment across the galactic networks, a warning to the lesser species that resistance was futile. Across the galaxy, observers watched in silence. Some pitied humanity. Others whispered that perhaps the humans had truly grown weak. It had been nearly 3 centuries since the last Terran War. Their fleets were scattered among colonies, their weapons idle. Humanity had become traders, diplomats, builders. The Council of Vranai ministers convened weeks later, drinking crystalline liquor and boasting over the footage. "They won't retaliate," said Minister Jathal, swirling his glass. "Humans have forgotten the taste of war. They only know treaties and trade routes now." "Even if they did respond," another said, "what could they do? Their fleets are outdated. Their admirals are bureaucrats. Their rage has been buried beneath centuries of peace." The Chancellor smiled. "Let it stay buried, then. We will take their colonies one by one until even Earth bows." A single ambassador, a young aide from the Galactic Concord, dared to speak. "Chancellor, they say humans have a saying. Don't mistake kindness for weakness." Sarex Kal chuckled, his fanged grin glinting in the light. "Then they should learn to say it with their throats slit." He raised his glass to the stars. "To the end of humanity." The hall roared in laughter. No one noticed that, on the distant edge of the Orion Spur, a signal, faint, encrypted, ancient, had just been received by Earth's deep space defense network, a silent, coded phrase. "Meridian has fallen." 3. The silence before the storm for 72 hours. Nothing came from Earth. The networks that had once buzzed with human transmissions went quiet. No statements, no demands, no threats, only static. The Vranai grew smug. The galaxy grew convinced. The soft race had taken their punishment and accepted it. But beneath Earth's cloud-covered surface, old systems were awakening. Deep within the black stone caverns of the Artemis Strategic Command, beneath the Himalayas, an alert flashed red for the first time in 3 centuries. The room's walls hummed as dormant war AIs, relics of the Terran defense era, powered back on, their processors whispering in cold machine tones. Protocol Nemesis activated, in orbit, ancient hangars opened. From them drifted silent ships, titanic, armored vessels whose hulls bore the insignia of an older time, the twin-barred sigil of the United Terran Front. Their engines glowed like captive suns. Across Mars, Titan, and the Kuiper shipyards, fleets stirred, dreadnoughts with names like Retribution, Vigilant, and Wrath of Sol. Their hulls had been under maintenance for centuries, sealed and forgotten. Now they hummed with renewed life. Comms officers whispered across encrypted channels, "Confirm activation of the Sentinel fleets. Priority target, Vranai Confederacy. By order of the High Command, no quarter." The silence stretched for one final day. Then, Earth sent a single message to the Galactic Concord. "We grieve for Meridian, and we remember." The transmission ended with an ancient Terran phrase, one no alien had heard in living memory. Operation Iron Sky, commence. 4. The heavens tremble. The first sign came not as ships, but as shadows. A Vrani patrol on the edge of their territory detected gravitational anomalies. Distortions rippling through space like tidal waves. Their instruments failed. Their communications went dark. Before they could react, the void itself tore open. From the rift emerged something vast. A ship the size of a moon, its hull blacker than night, its silhouette jagged and angular like a blade. Behind it followed hundreds more. The human expeditionary fleets, each ship a monument to vengeance. Their arrival blotted out the stars. The Vrani flagship Dominion's Pride sent a hail in panic. No reply, only static. Then, a human voice transmitted across every frequency. This is Admiral Helena, ward of the United Terran Front, to the Vrani. Confederacy, your debt has come due. And then the stars burned. Rail cannons. The length of cities fired in synchronized fury, tearing through Vrani defenses. Orbital platforms vaporized before they could launch. Every Vrani fleet dispatched to intercept was reduced to debris within minutes. The human ships didn't slow. They didn't negotiate. They advanced. Their weapons were ancient, but perfected. Their targeting systems were flawless. Their soldiers were silent and cold, executing every order with precision. Entire Vrani worlds went dark in the first week. One intercepted transmission from a Vrani officer before his ship was obliterated said it best. They're not fighting for victory. They're avenging ghosts. Fire falls upon the proud. When the human fleet reached the Vrani capital system, there was no preamble, no demand for surrender, no ceremony, just retribution. The orbital defense grid opened fire, millions of plasma bolts streaking toward the human armada. But the Terran ships moved like predators, their counterfire tearing apart orbital rings and fortress stations with surgical fury. The capital's twin moons were shattered in minutes, their debris raining upon the planet below. Admiral Ward's flagship, the Wrath of Sol, entered low orbit. Its main cannon charged, glowing white-hot, a weapon once banned by every galactic treaty. Target, Sarex Cal's Citadel. Authorization, Iron Sky. Fire. A single beam lanced downward, striking the planet's surface. The Citadel, the symbol of Vrani power, evaporated in a blinding flash. The capital's crust split open like glass under a hammer. Millions perished in seconds. From the burning ruins, a desperate Vrani transmission went out. Humans! Stop! We surrender! The human response was immediate, cold, and final. Meridian didn't get to surrender. The bombardment continued until the planet's atmosphere ignited, a firestorm visible across half the galaxy. When it was done, the Wrath of Sol transmitted a single message across the galactic network. This is the vengeance of Earth. You mistook our mercy for weakness. You thought our rage tamed. Now see what it has become. See. The shattered galaxy news of the destruction spread faster than light. Entire sectors fell silent. The races that had mocked humanity now turned their eyes toward Sol with fear. The galactic markets crashed, trade routes diverted, fleets stood down. Even empires untouched by the war whispered the same thing. Do not provoke the humans. In the ashes of the Vrani worlds, the Terran fleets moved with grim efficiency, deactivating their weapons, recovering their dead, and transmitting one final signal to the Concord. Vengeance complete, Meridian avenged, we return to silence. Then, as swiftly as they had come, the fleets vanished, retreating to the dark beyond the rim, leaving only wreckage and ruin behind. The galaxy waited, breathless, for retaliation. None came. Humanity did not occupy. They did not conquer. They simply left, their point made in fire. Echoes of the Iron Sky years later. A Vrani survivor, one of the few who had escaped before the capital burned, stood before the galactic Concord, trembling. His scales were dull, his voice hollow. They did not fight for conquest, he said. They fought for memory, for Meridian, for every soul we burned. He paused, looking up at the assembly of alien delegates. And they did it without joy, without cruelty, just justice. The hall was silent. No one spoke. The representative of Earth sat quietly, face hidden behind a black visor. When the Vrani survivor dared to ask, "Will you forgive us?" the human rose slowly, his voice calm but heavy as the weight of a dying sun. Forgiveness is mercy. Mercy is for the living. Meridian is dead. And with that, the human envoy turned and walked out. The galaxy never forgot that sound. The echo of human boots against the marble floor, fading like the tolling of a bell. Vait. The whispered fear centuries later. When children across alien worlds gazed at the night sky, they would ask their elders about the dark region where no ships traveled. The space once ruled by the Vrani, and the elders would whisper the same answer, never daring to raise their voices. That is where the humans struck. That is where their rage shook the sky. Even now, every race in the galaxy remembers the warning left behind, etched into the ruins of the Vrani capital by a human drone before the fleets departed. No one knows who wrote it, but every letter burns with silent fury. We do not seek war, but if you bring it to our home, we will bring the storm to yours. And beneath it, the emblem of Earth, the old blue marble, ringed by fire. The galaxy learned a lesson that day, carved into the bones of a dead empire. Humanity's peace is vast, but their vengeance is infinite.